Welcome to this video introduction to multiplication. This is part 1 of the Multiplication Foundation series, and it is a practical guide for parents and teachers to helping children learn multiplication. Each of these videos is paired with a child-friendly video for shared learning. Our series roadmap is as follows. We have this video, part 1. Part 2 is looking at understanding multiplication as equal groups. Part 3 is how repeated addition builds multiplication skills. Part 4 is on skip counting. Part 5 and 6 are on arrays. In this video, we will explore what multiplication is and the different ways we can show it. We will look at when to teach it, and we will look at how it fits into the bigger picture and the ways that parents can support their children in learning multiplication. So, who am I? My name is Adele Kelly. I'm an Irish primary school teacher with over 15 years experience. I am passionate about making maths accessible for all primary school children, including children with additional needs such as dyscalculia or dyslexia. In my view, systematic, structured instruction can hugely help children to learn how to be proficient at maths. So, what is multiplication? Well, multiplication in a nutshell is just adding the same amount again and again. There are different ways that we can represent multiplication, and it is important for children to be able to flexibly see those different ways. So the first representation of multiplication that we'll look at is equal groups. The next is arrays. The third way is through repeated addition. And then finally, we'll look at it through skip counting. The children video, or the child video that accompanies this, shows visual representations of all of these. So when to teach multiplication? Before officially teaching multiplication as an algorithm of 3x5, we want to make sure that children can understand equal groups and skip counting. I personally like to introduce it at the start of the year as my very first topic for an equal starting point. Children feel like they're being challenged, and children who might have had difficulty with previous maths concepts get a fresh crack of the whip. Don't worry if children aren't fluent at first, just focus on understanding. And don't forget to use visual supports like posters or other representations, as they can really strengthen children's multiplication muscles. The language of multiplication. Maths is a language. It's something that we need to teach and practice for fluency. It's important for all learners, but again, particularly for children with dyslexia or dyscalculia, or children for whom English isn't their first language. Future videos on those topics of equal groups and arrays contain suggested language to be taught. So what about times tables? When I was in school, multiplication was times tables. It was one and the same thing. But now, before we ask children to recall times tables or memorize them, we want to make sure they have a solid understanding of the concepts. Again, we want to make sure they have lots of practice with visuals and counting. We particularly want to make sure that they have fluency with skip counting. And then the next step is we want to teach them some patterns and tricks. And then finally, we would ask children to memorize their tables. Tables are much more effective when they're built on real understanding. Multiplication in the bigger picture. Multiplication is a gateway and a foundation to lots of topics, including division, fractions, area, scaling, multiples, and factors. So spending the time ensuring children have a good foundation now is time well spent. Some tips for home. Simple everyday maths can help your child. Through real-life examples, you can emphasize the language of multiplication, such as groups. You can use everyday items such as Lego, coins, pasta, or even socks to show multiplication. And you can use games such as dice or cards. If you'd like to know more, subscribe to my YouTube channel for explainer videos on key maths topics. Visit www.improvingmaths.com to find matching worksheets, helpful resources and blog posts to support a strong foundation in maths. I hope this has been helpful and look forward to seeing you again.